Hi guys, boys and girls, and hello my dear fellow foreign English speakers. Welcome back to Robbie's English Family video blog. And tonight I'm going to record a video as a video response to one of my YouTube commentators. But just before that, allow me to take a sip of my evening decaf coffee, right? Cheers, my friends. So, this person, Triple H, and he's, as a matter of fact, one of the most prolific commentators on my channel. And I really hope that you don't mind, Triple H, me reading out your comment, because it's going to help everybody, right? The whole audience, for that matter. So, Triple H shares a very embarrassing moment that happened to him at the embassy. So basically, the woman personnel asked him who was going to collect his passport, and basically he didn't get her accent, her pronunciation, right? So she had to say it 4 times over, and he couldn't get it, right? And she pronounced basically the word when as wa, and who as he. Yeah, well, there are certain distinct accents whereby native English speakers pronounce words completely differently to what you would have expected, right? So after that incident, his fluency went down the drain, out the window, and afterwards he couldn't say one word. So the question is, do you think it's common? Triple H, don't worry, right? You're not the only one. This is the typical English fluency issue manifesting itself. Basically, you are experiencing this embarrassing moment when somebody doesn't get you, or you find it hard to get someone, and then you just can't speak, you know? And it's all because you are kind of trying to just say something to fix the previous problem, you know? So you're trying to speak even better, you know? So basically, here's the level of the communication, right? So something goes wrong. So in your mind, it's like, okay, now I gotta really show that I can speak really well. So you're immediately increasing the standards for yourself, right? You're raising the bar really, really high, super high, and you're aiming for that, but you can't even say a word because your mind is full of the different things you could say and the different grammar structures and whatnot, and eventually you can't say a thing, you know, because you're overthinking. You're like, well, I need to save the day, you know, rectify the situation, but what happens in real life is quite the opposite. You're aiming so high that you can't say a word. And as a matter of fact, I'm noticing this kind of phenomenon every day, even in my workplace, right, where there's plenty of foreigners. As a matter of fact, there's probably only a handful of Irish, right, at my work. I apologize, guys. There's something in my eye. Gotta get it out. I'm sorry. So, yeah, there's all sorts of different nationalities, Germans, Italians, Spanish people, you name it, right, from all over the world. And we all obviously communicate in English, and we use the English language to communicate with our customers and our managers and so on and so forth. So oftentimes I'm witnessing guys that are super fluent, right, when talking to each other or with me or whatever, right? And then when I see them speak with a manager, which is somewhat a more formal form of communication, or when they have to get on the phone with a customer, their English becomes worse, you know? And even today, as a matter of fact, I noticed one guy, right, he had to take over my case because I'm the level 1 technician and he's a level 2 technician. So basically I couldn't deal with the issue, so I had to engage him. And when he started speaking with the customer, I noticed that he was a little bit nervous, you know, a little bit on the edge, and he was saying things wrong. He was trying to speak quite fast, which is another mistake that we all make, right? We're trying to match the native speakers in terms of the speed of the speech, right? So he started speaking too fast, and he was kind of finding it difficult to pronounce words, because the faster you're trying to say something, the more difficult it actually becomes after a certain speed, you know what I mean? You have to find the right speed for you that's comfortable with you. And even if it's slower than average, so what? No big deal, you know? But obviously the pride kicks in, right? You're comparing yourself automatically with the native English speaker. You're trying to match their level of fluency, and your fluency deteriorates drastically. And as a matter of fact, in the most critical situations, such as the one that Triple H described, you might be able to, quite the opposite, you might not be able to say a word, and it has happened to me in the past, I've been getting myself into loads of different situations, and it's all through my own fault, you know what I mean, because of myself, because of my unrealistic expectations. I didn't have the concept of saying something simple in mind. I always wanted to sound sophisticated. I was trying to say the right thing, something that would have been expected from me. And when you're speaking like that, immediately this phenomenon kicks in whereby you actually can't say a thing, So simplicity is the key. If you find yourself in a situation like that, obviously you're going to be stressing out, and you can't even expect yourself to perform at the normal level, so you have to lower your standards. It's quite the opposite, right? So you have to start saying like very simple things, speak like a baby, 2-word sentences, and you will be understood, and you will get out of that situation. Whereas if you're trying to kind of say it all out at once, eventually you can't say a thing. So yeah, to answer the question, it's very common, and it's not that easy to deal with, and I dealt with that issue after a long time, having figured out all those fluency management techniques and strategies. And if you're interested in that, then you may want to click on this link here. It's going to take you to the page on my blog where I've listed a number of those strategies, and they will come in indeed very handy when dealing with situations like Triple H just described. Alright, so thanks for watching this video, my friends. Chat to you soon. Bye-bye.